Hello everyone, today in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to do the Osiris eye, or just the eye. It's not really an Osiris eye, it's more of just the eye itself, but as it's pretty self-explanatory, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do it this time. See, I am using my voice for this video as I feel it would be easier for me just to use my voice rather than chat. This should be very simple, and you're going to need the color game pass, so just letting you know, if you do not have it, then you're probably going to not come out with a very good outcome. Now, what you're gonna need here are these these three actually, these three hats, the Neptune pet, Jupiter pet, and Venus pet. I will leave the codes in the description if you have not read the title, because I will put the codes in, or I will mention in the title that I will put the codes in the description, and from there you'll be able to just add on your own hats, like how I did with the horns, as you can see, and then set up your own colors, and I will get to the proportions and everything soon enough. Alright, so on my last video I discussed with you guys on the R15 Walk and Idle. Now I will be showing you guys how to actually get the body type that I have, which is very simple. It's these body types right here. As you can see, I got the gunslinger right and left arm, and then both Thane of the Fen legs with the Roblox 2.0 torso. And I'm using the headless head. I will get the headless head as well. I will put that code in the description, and you will see it on screen whenever I'm making the OC, because I will make a random Cyclops OC just to show you guys how this is done. Now, as you can see here, I'm going to reset my Roblox avatar, which is going to restart me completely and bring me back to my ordinary avatar. Now, whenever I start doing things, I like to get rid of everything, as, usual. You just want to get rid of everything on your avatar. Now, start off with making all the hats on your head, and then you can move on to the clothing, or do it vice versa. I start off with the shirts and the pants, so that the file, or not the file, the OC does not get corrupted, because if you put on the max amount of hats and then you try to put on the shirt and the pants, it will say that you're wearing the maximum number of accessories. So you might want to sometimes put on the shirt and the pants first before doing anything else. Now, as you can see here, I'm going to go to the body parts, and I'm going to get all of my body types on. As you can see, I'm doing it right now. Now that I have all of them on, I'm going to take the up to down offset, and I'm going to put that up to about 1716. Now we're going to need to change that later, considering the head will probably be floating rather than attached to the body, like how Osiris's head is. As you can see, it's going to come in handy, just trust me, but I will get to the headless head codes right now. Oh, and also a reminder, the animation pack that I'm using is an ordinary animation pack that you can buy for 80 Robux, which is just $1 worth of Robux if you were to buy it through mobile. And it's the old school pack. It's very, very simple, as you can see. I wouldn't suggest it for making OCs on this game, but if you're making an OC such as Siren Head, or an OC that's very still and doesn't have much motion, I would suggest using the old school pack, considering how still, as you can see, it is, and how fluent it is with everything. Now here, as I said before, I'm going to use the Jupiter head as the base. Now what you're going to want to be able to have is that you're going to want to be able to have proportions for proportions unlocked for playing for more than 12 hours in the game. Now, as you can see, I will set up all the proportions that I had for Osiris's head, which should be your ordinary, ordinary sized eyeball, or unless you want to make it smaller, then you can just decrease the size of your head to get that right. Now, we're going to hide the texture so that it's blank, like an eye. Now you're going to want to take the height, put that up to 20, width 20, depth 25. You want to make sure that's a little bit thicker than the width. Now, you're going to want to move this left to negative 83. This is going to be about average, considering it's right in center. See if I can get this right. I could. There you go, you see. Now we're going to move this down all the way, so it's right there, as you can see. Now we're going to move this back 76. As you can see, it's perfect. Now, from here on out, we're going to take the headless head code, which I will show on screen. Here is the headless head code. Oops, press tab. Now, we're going to put this on. Here's when we're going to start messing with the head. We're going to want to move this up even more to have the eyeball a little bit floating, but not connected with the body. Now, from here, you can make the eyeball bigger. As you can see, now that looks a lot better than what it once was. It looks more. Now, I'm going to keep that at a 105 for a decent size. Now, we're going to take the Neptune head, which is going to be your iris. Now, from here, you're going to want to take the iris, and you're going to want to increase the height up all the way. Not the width, we're going to keep that at 20. Now, I'm going to be doing a little iris where it's like a little bit like snake eyes. So we're going to move this down to 27. Not exactly at 133, but to negative 127. And then, from here, we're going to want to move this back 103. 103, perfect. Now, see, we're going to have to move it down even more, considering the way that the body is proportioned. I'm going to move this down right there. Make sure that your texture is turned off, like that. Now, let's just make it black, so that it's visible. Now, let's decrease this depth a little bit, matter of fact. And then push this towards the middle. Now I'm going to use this front to back offset, and we're going to push this back a little bit so that it's center with the torso. As you can see, that looks a lot better than what it once was. I'm also going to do the same thing with Jupiter Pet, move that down a little bit and push this forward just a little bit like that. You see how perfect that is? That is beautiful. And finally, we have the Venus Pet, the most difficult out of all of them. This one's going to be the most difficult, considering the way that it's proportioned and how it's tilted in the sky like that. Now we're going to want to take this and move the height to about 20. Shrink this to 65, and this to 75. We're going to move this left, like that, to 87. Or not left, right. I don't know my left and right, just kidding. Now we're going to move this down to 116. Got that perfect that time. Now we're going to want to take this, 98. 98, 98, 98. I had it. There you go. Then we want to tilt this down and up by 17, which should be your average. Or not, maybe. Oh, that's why. I know what's happening. I forgot about this. We're going to want to take this and move this to 11. Or 10. That looks about right. Move it down a little bit, considering we mess with the proportions a little bit. And now hide the texture. And now you can just set the colors to whatever you want from here. Like you can take Neptune Pet and brighten this up and make this, like, let's say for instance blue or red. You gotta take Venus. You're gonna want to make it black for the pupil. See? Beautiful. Now, just to show you guys an example, I will actually make this an OC of mine, not saving it, but just to show you guys a little something of what you can do. You can take the idea if you want. I don't mind seeing copies of this around in my servers, considering there's not many people playing this game anymore. It kind of died out over time. And I don't mind seeing other players dressed like me, or using this idea from me, as I'm not really one to care unless it's one that I really, really care for, as an Osiris, because if somebody copies my Osiris avatar, I will be infuriated by that, considering it took me a really long time to figure out how I was going to structure that character as a person. Now, this is the outcome of the OC that I made. His name is Zora. As you can see, I never added a bio for him, but this is all that I made for him. As you can see, I didn't give him the Shattered Aura, as I find that a little bit overused, but there is stuff that you can add to him, and you can do more to him if you want. And I will actually put all of the proportions for him in the description, just in case if you want to copy this, or make him for yourself, and then have your own, sorcerer slash OC with a singular eye for a head. and you can change the color, you can do whatever you want, just be creative with it, you know? This is something that I want everybody to have, and for somebody, or for something that I want everybody to experience. Something new to start in this game. Now, I really hope that this actually goes somewhere rather than just stays in the place or that I am, because, last video I actually got over 100 views, which is the most views I've actually ever gotten on my channel, which is pretty sad, but considering it was just a simple video for this game, I feel like I can go really, really far if I were to continue making videos like this on tips and tricks on how to make creative OCs like mine, so and so. And you can actually use the name for this OC if you want. I will actually, like I said before, I will put all the proportions for the wings, the sword, the shield, the halo, and all the codes for them in the description, and including for the eyeball as well, and the clothing, and the color codes as well, just in case if you guys want them. Now, that'll be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really had a good time making this, and I actually did put a little bit of work into making this OC. I didn't really try that hard, considering I'm not even going to be using it, because I do not have any slots. As you can see, I don't have any. I am full on the 24 slots that I have. Now, that's about it for today. I will now be seeing you guys in the next video, perhaps even tomorrow, or in another tips and tricks video, or perhaps just a random video that I made of a funny moment, you know, you never know. But I'll see y'all later, or soon, whenever, it doesn't even matter. Um, hope you enjoyed, and, I hope I could see one person like me around here in a server someday. I'll be looking out for that. Bye guys. Peace.